Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? This is Ontik from firewithcode.com and today in today's video I'm gonna be making a JavaScript counter. Okay, so let's make a folder to do that. So I'm gonna go to, let's see, cd and then programming, and then I'm gonna make a folder here, make directory called JavaScript.js counter. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to my JS counter, and then I'm gonna open it in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so let's do that. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna just let me just close that. Okay, so now I'm gonna make a folder, I'm gonna make a file called index.html, and I'm gonna make another file called styles.css, okay, and another file called app.js. So let's go to your index.html, and then I'm gonna paste the HTML boilerplate, and then I'm gonna give my style sheet link styles.css now, and in here I'm gonna paste my JavaScript, so script and then src, and I'm gonna say app.js. Okay, that's cool. Now right now what we're gonna do, we're gonna just make something like so now I'm gonna hit save, and then I'm gonna go to I'm gonna open up my browser, my Chrome browser, and then I'm gonna go to the Google fonts.google.com. Then I'm gonna choose pop-ins, that one. So I'm gonna just select all of that. No, I don't need all of that. I just want the regular. And then go to import, and then import that, and then copy and go to your Visual Studio Code, and then go to your style.css, and then paste that. Okay, this is the fonts. Now set all that. I'm gonna set the margin 0, and then padding 0, and then margin yeah, now okay. Now the font family that I want to have, the puppins, and then sans serif. Okay, so now I want a text. At first I just want a section called I'm gonna get a class called the counter, and then I'm gonna say I'm just gonna have a div right here that is gonna be the counter container, and then in that div I'm just gonna have the h2 tag where it's gonna be counter, and then there should be I'm gonna have a h3 tag where it's gonna be 0 as default, and then I'm gonna have some buttons right there, button 3 buttons, okay, 3. So the first button should be reset, the reset button, and now I'm gonna have the reset and the increment. Let's make decrement, and then we're gonna have the increment, okay. Now in that one we're gonna have some class. Let's just go through like that, and then class, oh sorry, class, okay. Now I'm gonna have button, some class, and now I'm gonna have the reset for the JavaScript, reset, because we need the unique one, reset, okay. Now let's hit save and then open it with live server if you have live server, and just open it from your live server, or you can open it manually, or you can download the live server from that Visual Studio extension store called, you're gonna search the live server, and then after that you're gonna get that is the live server, okay. Just click on here, there should be an install button, you're just gonna click on it and it's just gonna download it, okay. So now let's go to your browser. Look, there we have our counter, and then the number, and then we have some buttons right there, and then that is our font. Now let's go to our styles. Let's just close that, and then let's go to our styles, okay. So I'm gonna style the counter dot counter, and then we're gonna have something, now we're gonna say display flex, and then justify content center, and then hit save. Let's see, wow, that's cool. Now let's hit R. Now we want the align items, we want to align them center vertically, center. Now hit save. It's not gonna center it vertically because we don't have height, so we should have some height right there. Height should be, let's say, 600 pixels. Yeah, we've got that in the middle. So now we want the text align center, so just let's say text align center, okay. Yeah, we've got that. Now we need to design the button, so dot button, and then I'm gonna say font size, let's say 14 pixels. Is it okay? No, let's say 18 pixels. Yeah, now that is cool. Now what we want to do, we want to just make the background color none, Okay, and then the padding is gonna be, we are gonna have the padding 10 pixels, 8 pixels, yeah. And then border, we have 2 pixels, solid, black. Okay, and then we're gonna set the border radius, border radius, let's set it to 5 pixels. Yeah, that's cool. Now let's just make the text, the counter text, and then the number, the font size bigger. To make the font size bigger, we're gonna just say counter container dot count counter container. Now the font size, let's just do something like, because we don't have that a big project, so we're just gonna say h2 and then h3. Okay, now the font size 20 pixels. Let's say, why it's not changing, h2, h3, I don't know, 20, let's say 30. Yeah, it has changed a little bit. Let's do 40. Ouch, sorry. Let's hit save. Yeah, now that's pretty cool. So now I think the font size of the button should be 16. Is it okay? Yeah, 16. Now let's give it a hover effect on the buttons. Button, we're gonna have, when we are gonna hover over it, then we're gonna see the background should be black, and then the color should be white, and we're gonna have a transition transition 0.2 seconds. Hit save, back in the browser, and look, that's pretty cool. Wow. Okay, that's pretty great. So now we're gonna go to the fun part in the JavaScript section. So let's work on it. So we're gonna add an event listener to that button. So we have to get that buttons by their classes. So let's say const, and then we have reset button. Then let's say document dot query selector, and then we're gonna have the reset dot reset. Okay, and then const, we're gonna have the decrement button document dot query selector dot decrement. Okay, now const increment button document dot query selector, and then now we're gonna have the increment. Let's check that out. If it's, oh, we haven't said that. Sorry for that. decrement, and then we're gonna have the increment. Now let's hit save. Now let's check if we got that. Console.log reset button, then now, and then we're gonna say console.log decrement button, console.log increment button. So let's hit save. Back in the browser, go to inspect, go to your console. Yeah, we've got that buttons. Now let's just add some event listeners. Oh, we need to get the thing. Let's add an ID here called count number. Okay, now we're gonna say const, that is the buttons, and then that is the count number. So const, and then count number is gonna be document dot get element by ID. Okay, and then we're gonna say count number. Okay, now let's add an event listener to our increment button. But before that, I'm gonna make a variable called count is equal to 0, and after that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just go to, I'm gonna add the event listeners to that. So increment, the increment button dot add event listener click. When someone click on that button, we're gonna make that changes here. Okay, so let's do that. Now I'm gonna say the count plus plus. When someone clicks on that button, it's gonna make 2 1, and then it's gonna go to 2 when someone clicks on there, and after that it's gonna go to 3, and it's gonna go to 4, and it's gonna go to 5. Okay, like that. So let's set it to 0 again, and then I'm gonna set the count number is equal to count number dot inner text is equal to the count variable. Okay, let's hit save, and back in the browser. Now let's say increment 1. Okay, that's freaking cool. 4 5 6, but if we set it to reset, it's not working, and decrement is also not working because we haven't added any event listener to that. So let's add the decrement button dot add event listener, and then click, and then we're gonna say now you can guess it what we're gonna be doing in here. We're gonna minus it. We're gonna decrement that. Okay, count minus. That's gonna decrement the value. So if it is in the the count number. So if it is in the 0, then it's gonna go to, when someone click on the decrement button, it's gonna go to -1, and then it's gonna go to -2, and again when someone click, it's gonna go to -3. Okay, like that. So let's add it to our our HTML document. So in the count number dot inner text is gonna be equal to count, and then hit save. Let's back in your browser and then go to decrement. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's working. Yeah, it's working. So now let's do the wow, these two are working. Okay, so now let's add the other one. Let's the reset button dot add event listener, and then when someone click, we're gonna make changes to that. So now we're gonna do something like count count is equal to is gonna be 0. Okay, because when someone clicks on that, it's not gonna be it's not gonna increment or decrement. It's just gonna be 0. So to set it to 0, if you want to set it to 1, then it's gonna set it to 1. Let's just check it out. Count number dot inner text is equal to count. Okay, so now let's go to increment, decrement, increment, and now let's hit reset. Look, that is 1. Okay, so you understand that? So I'm gonna make that 0 because I just want that the default should be 0. The reset button should work on 0. So when I click decrement, when I click increment, it's gonna increment, and when I click reset, is gonna go to 0. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So let's work on something else. Okay, so when the number, let's say when the number is positive, that should be green, and when the number is negative, that should be what? That should be red. That the color should be red, and when it's 0, that should be black. Okay, so let's do that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna just check that if the number is greater than 0, then it's gonna be green. The text of the color is gonna be green. If the number is less than 0, the text color is gonna be red, and if it's 0, then it's gonna be black. The color is gonna be black. Okay, so let's make a function right here. Const show text, no, let's say check number. Okay, check number. Okay, so it's gonna check that if the number is positive, then it's gonna be green. If the number is negative, it's gonna be red, and if the number is 0, it's gonna be black. Okay, so I'm gonna say count number dot style dot color is if I just forgot that, sorry. if count number dot inner text is less than 0. Okay, if it's less than 0, the color should be count number dot style dot color is gonna be red. Okay, and if else if not else if, let's add if count number dot inner text is greater than 0, it's gonna be green. Count number dot style dot color should be green. And if count number dot inner text is equals to 0, then count number dot style dot color is gonna be black. Okay, so let's hit save and back in the browser. Look, nothing happens because we haven't called that function. So let's call that function. Let's say the check number. When should we do? Yeah, check. When someone clicks, then its number is gonna be checked. Check number. Check number. Let's go to our. Wow, that's great. Yeah, that's working, guys, that's working. So yeah, I hope you understand that and hope you enjoy it. So that was a great part of the tutorial, and I also enjoy it. I've also enjoyed that. So thank you for that, and be happy. And okay, now that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, peace.